Serogundo Zije Daniele Dage Zame Jage Yonzon de Janjo Nimbe Lange Karma Miche Leve Je Dodo Ome Jege Inge Molondo De Son Sangye Trinley Zem Je Urong Zon Dende Mon Zawe La Me Shala Kejan Tazo Lo Lo Na Che Lo Yaran Luje Genge Jalan Ne Shin Lang Zere Dam Ye Nam Ka Le Jan Che Ge Da Jin Ne Che Var Jo Yoro Ye Changma La Tashi Delek Shue Dong Chabji Do Zene Semjen Tamji Ye Dono Zobe Sangye Ge Goban Togo Ye Di Che Do Che Nin Ye Nyambe Samba Jia Che Wa Chanjo Semge Gun Long Wan Do Dang Ne Senran Xia.
Trashidele, everyone, please listen to Dharma with the vast motivation of bodhicitta, thinking that in order to benefit all sentient beings, I would like to become a Buddha.
Tene da dari shuye di tene do zangling di nang ne liu dunba jelba seljir gi pomo dorje liu da de shuye gi kapsore de yang khadang da chikashe ji chikchen kashe ji gon shusin da di khadang ge twene ma shue.
So I'm going to continue from where we have left off last time. We are on the 7th chapter of the sutra, the Sutra of Wise and Foolish, which is called the chapter of Vajra, the daughter of King Prasanajit.
Bumo de mitogbe miga ne podangi nangdo sujang mitongwe neshik to keto. Da Bomo de Dedara Miduk Jang, Sunmo Chembola, Zebe, Miduk Shindu, Sujang Mitongwari Kete, da Bomo de number Shindo and Midubaji Yori, the Yinayang, then Jebegi Tumo, Tatsumo Mambuyam, Yubinani, Tachi the Sema Zarido, Zang. Tene miduk shindu miduk ba da jebo dang zumo dang changma gage yo mare dine mege shindu mega shindu tene sujang mitong war tene sojong jini ge sing bare sen chi cher gene bangmar dang ren ba dang jelbo rabdo miga ne lombo la dige je kazalo da tene 뭐지 소종 수직의 마통을 살아 배네 소종제네 되네 다 첨보차네 바마 땅을 메이크업라 되네 제보 게롬볼라 되네 간낭바레스 사카가 남바레스나 통마 체릭 토이 제우 릭스 똑발레 다 참대 노르당 롱제 미족바시 철러 티데 쇼지 제고 다미 되네 강용고 릭 성보지 당에만 제베디 릭성 되네 되네기 임발라 제소 되네 고 울보차네 참되긴 되네 주노르메긴 되네 미직 릭 성보 인겐라 주노르메네 참되긴 되네 직 최네 되네 키쇼 되네 롬발라 까낭바레스.
So to continue from where we have left off last time, it says, the sutra says, even she was so ugly, which means that the daughter that was born to the queen of the king Prasenajit, since even she was very ugly, since she was given birth by the great queen, she could not be abandoned, so she was brought up, but without letting anybody see her, so secretly. So she was brought up secretly, and of course she was getting older and older every day as a human. So when she was grown up and become mature enough or old enough to be married, and the king was very unhappy again because he could not find someone who would marry her. So then the king gave a command to a minister saying that, get me someone who belonged to higher caste or the royal caste initially, but now have nothing and poor. So find someone like that person, because she could not be given to someone who is lower caste, and the king thought nobody from higher caste would marry her. So he asked minister to get someone who is poor but originally belonged to a higher caste. Then the minister found someone who originally was born into a high-ranking family, or Jeurik in Tibetan, we say Jeurik, which is the royal caste.
Tene lumbo de 장면 초릭 토싱 제우리기 불레 참네 울홍바식 녜데 제볼라 풀로 tene lumbo기 양 처네 tene 릭 제벽이 릭 초릭 릭 톰바 임발라 tene 주너메네 참되긴 방고도 tene tene 녜네 tene 튀네 제볼라 풀어레 제외장 대당 미메비 네 웬바식도 상대 나라 부모 두바식 유대 방마라 땅 렌나 년다 만예기 초릭 체심 토와 그 일싱 지양매 매기 쾌기 총마를 진기 롱시셈 되네 제외 디 울보디 티네 미수직 매비기 사자라 웬발 지를 티네 되네 제복이 가래송발에서나 나라 부모 미숙바치기 대 방말라 땅에 이야기 두술을 내처송 이나양 코랑 미숙바 임발라 되네 년다 독 초가 라기요 말에 대인지 다 최랑 릭니 톰바레도 이나양 최랑 주메바 울바레도 되네 네 부모 최랑라 되긴 최랑 게 롱식스다 최랑게 랑거레 제복이 깎대는 말은 쾌기 총말이 진기 롱시 제가들 받은 대내 케우대 부모 살라 쪽네 제르베 가신도 기오 대내 부디기 대내 부모 살라 쪽네 락테마잔 제볼라 대내 제르베게 까가레 남바 까지다 나와신도 되네 디 두기 대내 켈레말 기고 제일부 첨배 달라 키모식 전나 양랑월 찰나 제일부 구동라 도비 세모 절와 따지메데세 다 제일부기 까나나 되는 거라 제일부기 세모 파전에 키모식 때나 랑세 송나양 네 랑고거리 디딘데 되네 제일부기 다 구동 제일부기 리줄라 도비 세모 되네 낭디다 네 인다 인세네 코 가다 준다 켈렌제바는 따지메데 가신도 랑월 찰도 셰솔도 제일 가신도니 이 강소 랭게인 세네자 켈렌제바
So when the king gave command to the minister to find someone who initially belonged to the royal caste but now become a poor and have nothing. So then actually the minister found someone exactly like he was asked to get by the king. So the minister found someone who originally was born into a higher ranking family, or in Tibetan we call Jeurik. Sanskrit is called Vaishya. Basically there are like 4 different kind of caste in that time in India. But later he became a bearer for. So he brought this man to the king, and the minister offered this man to the king. And then the king brought this man to a remote place where there was no other people, and then he secretly told to this man, the king secretly told to this man, saying that, I have a daughter who has a very ugly face, and now she is old enough, or she is about to get married, but I could not find anyone who is willing to get married with her, because she is too ugly. But even you are a poor man, you belong to a high-ranking family originally. Therefore, I will give her to you, so to marry. So take her. Then the young man kneeled down. He put his knee down on the ground with the Anjali Mudra, and then he says, I will do just as you are command. And then the young man also said, the great king, I will just accept even if you give me a beach or she-dog. Beach is a correct word, right? Beach or she-dog. So no need to mention when you are giving me your own princess who actually belong to your family. I will accept as your command. So actually young man was very happy and ready to accept the command that was given to him by the king to get married with her, with his ugly looking daughter. So,
가신도 랑와 철도 제조로 제외장 세모 을회 총말 진네 이 내강라 속바 제대 고든 림도 제네 막발라 디게지고 케 귀도도위체 케기 케니기 고철라 데믹장 케르지 ngay bum rabdo mitubati chini jang chi mi shengi mitongwaran go rabdo domshi che go ne nordang longje la soba yeje chigiwa tamje chokbar chinde lumbar chugo se dene jelbe da konzo semodi budela ulbodela nangne dene 내강 다 코니라 대서 강바 되네 믹스기 되네 강바 소네 되네 고림바 든 치능 림바 든여바 소네 되네 디나라 쭉 되네 제복에 가르송거래서나 디미디 딱버려 처럼 기냐네 되네 고자야 고자 뭐뭐지 수지게 마통와 되네 시에서 세네 까나네 되네 부디 lumbe게 될라죠 lumbal아야 그 되네 그 lumbe게 될라고 나말에서 되네 dom시 제고 고네 노르당 롱제 라소바 예제 지구바 탐지 촉발진데 럼버죠 에 노르보 림보체 당 롱제 몽보 당 덴바르 주르네 되네 울보디 되네 림보체 당 롱제 베다 고추고자다 강다르다 추고 첨보체 주르베 유치식나 릭치식 토와 현당 덴모자워를 탐디 뜬말라 초식당 부차양 뒤제 제월 제발레 되네 코침보 다 추보차 lum보차 침보차들 되네 니마지 되네 베 강소 점보 침보 다 미망부 미침보 망부 뒤설라 뜬모 제설라 되네 디 뜬말라 되네 상매 되네 게메당 부부당 차상 티네 되네 저게 제발에 현균이 총마당 독대 옹나세 되네 될라레게 미 체체다 차상 되네 게멘도 티 부고도 티네 레도 럼보데 바시기 총마 마옹베 도보다 태dom도 줄데 다 럼보디 총마디 마티디 되네 코랑게 로보디도 되네 태dom자네 코 가레진에 마티바 있나 세네 태dom자네 양나니 미디 충망아지 신도 대신 상마시고 다 양나 그뒤 총마디드네 신레 케버도 하고 제마지여서래 뒤기 전에 밀라 쇼르게레스네 다 쇼레도 가지는 마티바 임바다 그래서 다 로버도 되네 토점서 양나는 신도 미독지 신기 통도 신기 통도 미롱와 시긴데 티데마온소 냠 대점자베 양나 다 신도는 미도바 수직이 통멜로바지 다 된대지여서래 선에 대점 다 조고 창당 조고 창마 대점선 대닥디 총마 따와를 드네 이 틈바를 상대 미디 창기 러로를 제라 미딘베 오도 데미 그데 민가 점식 대 총마 따라 땅오세 되네 관저 다디 총마 거기 총마 간대지 나 따고도선 조고 차상 카참네 되네 콜라 창몽불룩 코랑 창내게 녀죽 되네 디제라 되네 디미디 꼬마꾸네 미가디 되네 럼버디기 총마디 따가 땅와래 했었는 땅어
땅어
시주소
So the man accepted the princess that was given to him by the king, and then the king gave the princess to poor man, actually who was also a prince. And after they got married, a special house with 7 gates, not one gate, like 7 inner, outer, secret, 7 gates to make sure that nobody goes in. A special house with the 7 different gates or doors was built for them specially. And then the king told to the husband, the king said to him, whenever you go out, lock the gates by yourself and take the key with you. Lock the gate very well, all the 7 gates, not only one, but 7 gates or 7 doors. Lock the 7 doors very well and make sure that nobody from outside or no stranger would see her, because my daughter is extremely ugly looking. Then the king gave many wealth, everything that the husband wanted, such as jewel and everything. And not only that, the king also appointed the husband as one of his minister. So now his son is actually the man became the son-in-law of the king, because he married to his daughter. So he become also a minister of that king. King produced what I forgot English name. His name was in Tibetan Salgir, very easy. And anyway, that's okay. Prasenajit, yes, Prasenajit. So now the young man become also a minister of the king Prasenajit. And then, of course, this son-in-law of King Prasenajit become very rich person, very wealthy later on, because he was a son-in-law of the king and also a minister. So he had many different things, and then he become a high-ranking family also. Then, when later at a time, he was invited for a party, which was organized by another high-ranking families, and many families gathered together there for the party. And then all other than himself brought their wives and then children together. But this minister didn't bring his wife. And then all the other people became doubtful and thinking that they would like to check out the reason why he didn't bring the wife with him to the party. And then they think either his wife is too beautiful to show in the public or too ugly to let people see her. Therefore, and all other friends, okay, it says, he became wealthy with many goods such as precious jewel, and at a time after a while, he was invited to the parties of noble families where all the other attendant with wives and children, but he was the only one who came alone without wife. So all others got doubtful, and they thought, either his wife is extremely beautiful or very ugly, that he didn't want anyone else to see her, therefore he didn't bring her with him. Then they discussed secretly without letting him know that. All of them agreed to secretly check out. So what they did is they made him drunk with many chang, or maybe alcoholic drinks. Can I say chang is one of the alcoholic drinks in Tibetan word. Maybe sometimes it is translated as beer, but I'm not sure how correct that is also. So I would just say alcoholic drinks. So he was made drunk with the friends, giving him so many alcoholic drinks. And when he was drunk and unconscious, then they took the keys from him, and they agreed to send 5 people to check out his wife, how she looks. That's all.
디저월 민강도 중에 니마당 다와 자면 따로 매도 셈 되네 초가디 파트로 차로장 되네 코 셈바죠네 당에 녜마레 간레직 사네 되네 레게 마간레직 사바이나 되네 미통야 매바 마세데 니마당 다와양 되네 미기 통야 매바 된들 명항나라 대고에 레 간레직 사바이나 삼네데 코랑 셈바죠 삼로당 다음에도 미신양 미통냠대 신도 미가네 다 미신다양되네 미도지야 통야매바 되네 신도네 셈바초네 미가오 좀 대비갑라 디냠도 삼소 다 콜라 삼로지 콜바리 삼로지 상제 점된데 직전나 슈크데 셈진 강 동엘기 동바 다기 근당 잡제데 타로 제도 셰나셈 다 다리 상제 점된데 되네 직전이 감나 슈크여바리 되네 상제 점된데라 슈나 셈진 수당 수이나야 동엘기 동바 동엘 뇽겐데 저기 상제를 잡슈나 되네 상제기 근당 잡제기 잡제네 동엘레 타로 제기 요레 세네 다 코랑 퇴반자라도 데네즈네 데네 고가 비오레스 상지 슈유가 상지기 동엘레 잡바이기 투당 여바여바 데네 요레 산삼네 좀된데라 덕 장만의 차철로세 된데 덕네 상제 좀된데라든 다 림본의 장네 상제 가바슈유네 장네네 차세기 요새네 상제를 대받지네 차선 폭세월 공대 덕이 둔동은 섬도 식신 덕을 중세지 실 뜬바르 줄장 지마롱 냠삼모세 yenzuye sanje la cha so andamna das bala ten sanje jamden de nge dun la pene shel jungse samjik tenna chi marong tenna ya pe nga gabo kibo yonsare samne da sanje la deba mege chi ne dewan sammo bomo de samba shindu dag jing me bar kenne tene bomo de shindu ne tene samba number to getne sanje le deba me chebade sanje gi kembare kenne 점된데 디 김도 색데 스테네 상제 디 모모디 여살라 디 강변랑라 페반 모모디 듄기 살레 우 튼행기 첸바 멤버텐바 모모디 통화를 제도 되네 모모디 듄의 담보 되네 우디 tran스 연체 직전에 보모디 통화를 제반 통화를 제도 보모디 점된 얘기 우 텐징 통내 통화당 학바랑 거신 구 랑데 삼바 신도다 버리 줄도 상제기 우천쟁이 제일와당 학바도 양생 제바 슈크자도 되네 되네 삼바 신도 넘버 타고 대바 다 메도 학바르게 받는다 줄도 삼바 신도 다고 보모디 타양 신도 점심 천진기 가독도 줄도 되네디 상제기 울어 우저 통화 대라 대바게 발라 되네 되네 보모디 따디양 되네 상제기 우저 나신 되네 천진는 임발라 신도 잠바 레자 잠바 가독 천진도 되네 차바래 주로래 그래서 줄도 되나시게
So when all his friends met him drunk with alcoholic drinks, and they agreed to check out his wife after stealing his keys, when they are doing this kind of discussion in the house, the wife was actually thinking in different way, and then was the princess or the wife of that particular minister who was locked into a house with 7 different doors. Was thinking at that time, the princess thought, I wonder what kind of negative action or karma I had previously done that I need to go through such experience now, such a bad experiences now. My husband hates me so much that he keeps me in such a darkness that I cannot see even sun and moon. And I cannot see anybody else except my husband. She was thinking that way. And then she was so unhappy. And of course, because unhappy, there was no reason for her to be happy because she was locked inside with seven different 7 layers of the gates. 1 gate, 2 gate, 3 gate, 4, 7 gates. And then she thought again, the Bhagavan, okay, now here is a Sangye Trinley, so I'm using the bold word, the Bhagavan Buddha. The Bhagavan Buddha resides or dwells in the world right now. And he is said to protect and help them and liberate from their suffering who are being tortured by suffering. She thought that way again. So then she said, I prostrate to you, the Bhagavan, from afar. She was doing prostration from her dark room. And then she again thought, how wonderful would it be if you, the Bhagavan, actually appears in front of me with your compassion and show me a little bit of your face. So when she has this thought, actually her thought was very pure and very very pure and very devoted. So the Buddha knew that she was thinking in this way. So by knowing the utter purity of the princess' mind and her longing, actually the Bhagavan went to her home, her room, where she was locked, and actually showed, I should say, past tense, showed, right? Show and short. Okay, because this is past history in past. So I should use the past tense, simple past tense. I'm talking about the grammar now. Okay, so Bhagavan Buddha went to her room in the dark where she was locked, and he showed his only head, at the first only head, and you know what the color of Buddha's head is. It's usually it says dark blue color. So Buddha showed his only head, which was marked with a dark blue color. So because of the previous karma, again, she actually could see it. Then after seeing the dark blue head of the Bhagavan Buddha, she became very happy and more happy and more devoted than before, and her mind became extremely pure again, more pure. And therefore, becoming more devoted to Buddha and becoming her mind more pure, And her hair, before it was like you remember, it was like a man, right? M-A-N-E, man of a horse. Very, very hard and not nice to touch. And so now her hair become extremely soft right away, and very good color with the dark blue, just as a Buddha's head color, and very soft. Lasso. Listen.
카독도 텐딩 기하도도 있어. 야, 좀 된데기 실 영원솜도 땜바 보모데 통마타도 랍도 가고 랑베 보모디 신양 상신 제발 줄도 미독보당 주바양 랑신기 매발 줄도 되네. 당보 우자점 되네야 되네야 여러 상지게 되네 셰디다 차상 되네 땜바에 제원솜도 땜베 보모데 통마타도 상지기 셰 제마타도 랍도 가고 랑베 보모디 신양 상신 제발 줄도 되네 데라 상지 좀 된데기 셰라 되네 코랑 대바 메게 발라 되네 되네 보모데기 뭐 동바대양 되네 신도네 제바 다 타이부만 다보 주로래 미독보당 카독 미독보다 렉자 주바 탐지 랑신기 되네 매바차고 좀 된데기 꾸 따소를 연체 응바를 땐데 세르기 독답을 하메를 나월 제바 보모데 통내 상제라 학바를 거싱을 업도 구 랑바를 줄도 되네 양한자 상제기 되는 꾸 따소를 연체는 개바 연체 편제는 개바 연체 땜바에는 개바 연체 땜바 나전에 상제기 꾸지네 하메 세르기 독답을 하면 나월제베 보모데 통내 양자 상제를 나를 장 하벌 대바 계신 거신 럽도 거구랑네 예수 예랑네 대바게 대자로 거구랑베 미독바 탐제 매발 줄데 미독바 탐제 매바차네 준데네 신도 제신 두번이 하이 보모따를 직진나 빼다 매발 줄도 되네 하이 보모 직진을 가서 미유를 레바나신 자 보면 신 탐제를 되네 된다던들와 된다 매바지 줄와래 줄도 야, 좀 된데기 뭐뭐 될라 톡제위 체를 꾸속바를 때네 뭐뭐 믹미좀 바로 다신 되네 다를 상지지기는 꾸속 용수 속바 된데 되네 뭐뭐 되네 미양 좀 매봐서는 이 상지기 꾸속라 대바 거고 랑네 대바긴 되네 다 되네서는 상지 꾸속라 다 대바래 생각 거구랑네 류기 첸 탐지 직대나 빼다 매발을 신도 성신 미독비 박 항만 종세자며 말류소세 되네 대 학벌 대밤 이렇게 거구 이랑 발라 되네 되네 보모디기 류라 되네 나르기 미독비기 첸마다 미독비 가독 탐지 되네 하마자면 말류바 되네 차상 되네 강소 시내 라이보모랑 신의 차과래 그래서 좀 된데기 지리수 최장 땐베 디바군 세대 준도슈베 제보 토벌 줄네 좀 된대장 라를 색소세 되네 대 라이보모랑 차사로 당되네 상지기 최송네 되네 준도슈베 제보 톱네 되네 상지 좀 된데 배송하래 했어요.
So at first, Buddha showed her only his head, which turned her head into a very soft and very good color, dark blue color, because she became more devoted to Buddha, and her mind was become more pure. And then after that, again, the Bhagavan showed his whole face. Before he showed only the head, now he showed
whole face to her. And as soon as she saw the whole face of the Bhagavan, she rejoiced it with a great happiness and devotion. Now her devotion is increasing more and more, and because of that reason, her face also now become very beautiful, free from any kind of ugliness and hardness. Before, very much looking very ugly, and also if you touch her, it's very hard and so forth. Now, after seeing the face of Buddha and becoming more devoted to Buddha because of seeing his face, because of that power and blessing, now her face become very beautiful, free from any kind of ugliness and any kind of hardness. It's very smooth and very beautiful. And again, the Bhagavan actually showed the upper part of his body from the hip, which was radiant, very luminous, with like a golden color to her. So, and then after seeing it again, after seeing the upper part of the Buddha's body, which was radiant, luminous, just like in a golden color, she became more devoted to Buddha, of course. And then she rejoiced again with a great happiness and great devotion. As I said earlier, now her joy and her devotion is increasing more and more as she keeps seeing more and more the part of the Buddha's body. And because of being devoted and happy with the Buddha, all her physical ugliness now disappear, and then become an extremely beautiful woman and very spectacular. In Tibetan we have two words, Tanandukba, which is I usually translate spectacular, and Zebo is beautiful. Just like a Devaputri. Devaputri means the a daughter of a god. A Sanskrit word, Hlai Pomo in Tibetan. So some people like Sanskrit word, that's why I'm using it. Devaputri, or a daughter of a god, and who is also again incomparable and unexampled in the world. In Tibetan, you say pe da meba, means pe meba means there's no example that can symbolize her, or da meba is there's no that can be rival to her. So I just put this word. I'm not sure if it is correct or not. It says I just put incomparable and unexampled in the world. Again, now she have already seen the upper part of the Buddha's body from the hip. Again, with his great compassion for her, the Bhagavan Buddha actually showed his whole body now, his whole body to her, and she looked at the Buddha without closing her eye anymore, because she was so amazed and so happy. So she was not closing her eyes, just keep looking Buddha when Buddha showed whole body, and now become more devoted again, even more than before. And she again rejoiced with extreme happiness, very happiness. Therefore now all her physical marks become so beautiful that they were incomparable again and an example on the world. All ugliness, even a little tiny reminder of Medube Bakji Song, the Bakshal, Karago, Mihi Page, Drama. Medube Bakzam, Basong, the Bakshal of the Hash, Bakshal, Lamnata, Bakshas, inclusion engine. And Medube Jum the Lucian Pedam, Medube Elana. Medube Bakshaki, Lamas and Malvos, now don't they? Teaching at Madu Bakshal and Jezero. That's nothing like it. So, after seeing the whole body of Buddha, and she become very devoted to Buddha, all her physical marks become so beautiful that they are incomparable and unexampled on the world. All ugliness, even a little tiny bit of reminder of his habitual tendencies, disappear. So that means there is no even a tiny sign of ugliness on her body. The Bhagavan then not only did that, Bhagavan also taught her appropriate dharma that was suitable for her. And then all after receiving the teaching from Buddha, all her negativities purified. Then she achieved the result of stream enterer. This is called Gyunshu in Tibetan. We have four result, and this is the first. So Gyunshu is called translated in English as stream enterer. Then the Buddha went back to his own place.
Tene tema takdo mi ngabe jang go che de nangdo lakne di chungma rabdo ze jing sang la dame ba tongne chigla chig dige do tene sangye jamne pe chawa dang tene mi ngabo de da korangi to mi ngabo de daga lewa re na daga lene de sogi go che ne nangdo leba dang bumo de tongwa dang tene pe bumo de zeba 배다 매바 통네 찍을 찍디게도 다 코란도 벤신 찍을 찍게 디 총마디 신도 상신 제베 마티도제 다고 총마데네 제데 쿨네 되네 마티바 미티에 좀센 디레도 배제 보인도 미티베 좀센 디레도 세네 찍찍 펜조 깨져시네 셰므레데 대덕디 총마 통내 치령 고제데 대덕 강나 두버를 옹내 미데 마초월 대미장 치를 르라 딱소 되네디 미가보디 총마디 통차로당 되네 그 양자를 고잡네 콘소파로 되네 디 디미양디 호랑기 깨발로 딱 되네네 되네 샤바레서 딱소 미데를 미데라로발레 상내 균게데 칠 김동마당 되네 때모디 차네 미창마 강나로로도고요리 디갑라 코랑양 되네 창저로디 상데 다야 상내 야롱네 다기 총망아지 신도 상신 제디 미능는 신도 근벌 주로 통내 랍도 가데세 되네 코랑 나라레바당 되네 총무디 나르네 마다와 되네 제바된데 통내 코라야 신도 되네 가원 셈건 가데 총마 쾌수인 심레바당 되네 코랑 도바사는 게 총마에서 말했었네 저랑 수인선의 디어는 총매장 당니 케기 총마오 nga 저랑 게면래 쓴다면 심레소 쾌매바 쾌니 랍도양 미도바 신나 지지디더 상신 제바 줄 제디바당 되네 총말라 저랑 내마드네 신도네 미도바 임발라 되네 단다 제보되네 간데스네 차바레 세네 디바 제디바당 총매매바 다기 상제 통회 류디자부를 줄도 셰담 십dom에서 되네 가 제바되네 차야 되네 상제기 꾸 제발라 되네 제발라 되네 되네 차바레 차송 세네 되네 상제 코랑기 솔로한 답바당 상제 준비기 루지 십차 제네 되네 초가들라 셰바레 세도
So right after Buddha left, Buddha went back to his own place. Then the 5 people who were sent by his friend to check his wife arrived. And they suddenly opened the door, all 7 gates, because they have the key. They had the key. And then they saw this beautiful woman inside, who already has been transformed into a incomparable, beautiful, and unexampled beautiful woman. Then they thought, oh, now we know the reason he didn't take him, because he didn't take his wife because she's too beautiful to show to the crowd. Then they went back because they saw the beautiful woman inside that. And then before how to use that word? when you are drunk, you become undrunk. What do you say? You sober. Okay. So anyway, maybe I could say also, maybe not correct, but when he become before he become conscious again, he was kind of unconscious with the drunk, and then they put his key back to his body where it was before. Then without letting him know, then he become conscious. Then when he became conscious, it was about to end the party. So everyone departed for their place, and he came back to his home. Then when he came back home, he was surprised to see his wife, and he didn't believe. He said, "Who are you? Who are you?" Because she was so ugly when he left. And when he came back, she was so beautiful. There is no example that can symbolize her. Then he didn't believe. He said, "Who are you?" Then she said, "I'm your wife." And then the husband still could not believe, and he said, "You were so ugly. How come you are so beautiful now?" How you become so beautiful right now? Then the wife said, "I become like this because of seeing Buddha." And then she told him in detail what happened during he was gone. That's all.
야, 총매 양매봐. 다 총마되게 되는 막발라 가래라 바르나. 다기 일라 다니 다 얍절보단 태되기 셈. 당아랑 되는 가랑기 바바 제보당 제 태야기 되봐요. 제보라 다 디게 치오시 설지 인데 되는 저랑 제네 얍 제불 군들로 또네 되는 네 루주디 당아 제보 되는 차성 세배기 루주디 차성 얍 제보라야 쉬쇼 되는 냐 초가지 땅만은 최장 제보라 대신 손네 되는 초가지 제불기 군들로야 팬네 되는 다 루주 쉬버는 손네 제일 막발라 디게제 마세르와르 뉴르도 송라 치르 정도 미나와르 넘식세도 디 dom식이 뭐다
넘식세도 맞다
dom이는 너 메이디나 넘식세는
맞다 넘식한다 맞어
얘네 이 제보 이 마치네 처럼 되네 계자 마시 처럼 파송내야 고여고 담지 코치를 되면 고여고 담 다고 잡스네 제보게 송버를 되는 제보 이 마치는 가들도 막배 양설바 양자를 초가 이게 되네 제보라 양자를 십타진의 쉬는 되네 제일 보침뭐 세모니 좀 된데기 독지 진기 하모당 다워 상신 제발 줄도 셈 세모디 상지 좀 된데기 독지 진납라 되네 되네 라이브 모당 다워 제발 차와르 되네 쉬버르 되네 제보 이치네 제일 막발라 가절바 최면에봐 된데 다 철한 기세바데 된바 있나 대다를 줄나 뉴르도 티데 쇼지 다 된데 있나 되네 철한 바도 저거 티쇼 세니지 고네 신다 젠데 세모 포장기 농도 수네 신다 젠차 다운에 되네 제보 세모디 제보 포장 농도 된데 슈바
So after telling him what happened in details, then the princess told to her husband that she said, "Now I would like to see my father, the great king." And then you go to the king and inform him what happened, and tell him that let me come and to see him. So the husband went to see the king, and then husband told the king, but king didn't believe at first, and he said, don't say that, go back and lock the door. Make sure that nobody see her." Then the husband again says he says, "Now the princess, your daughter, become like a Devaputri, or a daughter of a god, after seeing the Buddha, and because of the compassion and blessing of Buddha, she now become very beautiful, just like a Devaputri, or a daughter of God. And then the king said, okay, if that is true, then bring her to me as soon as possible. Then she was received with a former in palace with many ornamented chariot, right? Because yes, and she was received with a just like a princess. Okay, tonight that's all for now, and we will do Sakya Nedrolma. Lama yedang khandro zonla gyabzon che, rangsam dongsa shige gongla gyabzon che, wo maya namkha da nyambe simjen tamje, lama sangye rinpo chala gyabzon, sangye yedang gende namla gyabzon che, lama yedang khandro zonla gyabzon che, rangsam dongsa shige gongla gyabzon che, wo maya namkha da nyambe simjen tamje, lama sangye rinpo chala gyabzon che, Sangye Chudang Genda Namla Gyabzan Shio, Lama Yedang Khandro Zonla Gyabzan, Rangzan Dangzan Shige Gula Gyabzan Shio, Oman Bemoman 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 Oman Bemoman 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 Oman Bemoman 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 Oman Bemoman 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 Oman Bemoman 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 Oman Bemoman 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 Oman Bemoman 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 Oman Bemoman 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 Oman Bemoman 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 Oman Bemoman 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 Oman Bemoman 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 Oman Bemoman 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 Oman Beme Waya Leda Loya Bora Gele Gyurvai Tenda Neda Joya Beze Waya So Semye Yeme Deve Nenamgo Jide Kamso Joya Waraya Mai Gyuraji Jeda Yeme Treya Beze Jaji Keje Jela Luzen Dozebe Sodoi Nege Doya Mai Jeba Jide Kamso Joya Waraya Mai Gyuraji Jebdai Jenje Kaya Naya Zebayadar Nege Menzan Tebe Trazebe Yeje Baya Daya Daya Bere Soye Luje Goya La Neya Baraya Mai Yaraje Nebengere Doya Ye Joda Lobra Ye Do Son Ya Do Joda Shimja Zai Je Ne La So Ba Ye Luje Goya La Ze Waraya Mai Yaraje Lazam Devaya Maya Luya Drozebe Yongye Drobe Doya Jenyeba Maloy Jeje Daya Doya Dembaya Da Terene Me Dege Dembarajo Lama Gonjo Sangye Doje Da Kandoje Jo Soime No Doeda Lede Loa Me Bede Doge Moa Moa Da She Do Barajo Lama Gonjo Sangye Doje Da Kandoje Jo Soime No Doeda Lede Loa Me Bede Doge Moa Moa Da She Do Barajo Malo Lama Gonjo Sangye Doje Da Kandoje Jo Soime No Doeda Lede Loa Me Bede Doge Moa Moa Da She Do Barajo. Long Ji prayer of His Holiness. Jago Nije Razoi Karma Jago Chenle Jide Karma Jago Dozoi Wangor Karma Ba Oyen Rodo Chenle Shabde Soi Sije Panje Malai Jove Je Tube Demba Yure Neba Tenze Jebe Gewa Damba Panje Gige Yure Shabde Soi Chunga Chenpo Daye Ne Donga Sanje Targi Kalpa Jewa Samye Zo Chudun Zeje Jujure. Our usual dedication prayer and auspicious verses, the Trashi prayer. Hoy sonam de tamje sevanye tamne nyebe rana tamje tega na je bala troba sebe zole ro jo jambal pawo chedra kemba da gondo sambo de ya de jen de da kunje je zo da lo gewa de da tamje rabdo mo sangye kusum nyebe jela Chenye Mingir Dembe Jelab Gende Meje Dembe Jelab Chidramo Molan Rubarajo Dushe Lejai Jave Chele Ba Karmaya Bade Dembe Nyimbo Chodra Kunchai Chabje Jemeje Tawara Bebe